Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I don't know how to start this. So I guess the best thing I could do is kind of just explain what this is. Basically, this is an idea I have for a series I could do on the channel where I kind of sit down and talk to the camera sort of in a vloggy kind of style. Vloggy, I don't know if that's a word. But basically I kind of talk about games I've been playing within this month and then talk about games I'm thinking about playing in the next upcoming month. And just as kind of a way to for me to let you guys know what I'm working on, what might potentially be coming in the future on this channel, and also kind of a way to kind of talk about games that I've finished and give my thoughts on them without having to make an entire review video on them, because I have some games I do want to do review videos on, but others that I want to share my thoughts and opinions on but don't have enough to say about it to make a whole video around it. And also for this one, because it's the first one, I'm gonna cheat a little and talk about games that I've actually been playing for the past few months, but then going forward it'll just be pertaining to the month this video is uploaded, which by the way, this is probably going to be just a monthly release. You know, just kind of a final video for the end of each month to tell you guys what I've been doing. So yeah, now that terrible explanation is out of the way, let's just get started and I'll tell you guys what I've been playing. So the first thing I've been playing is probably the thing that everyone's been playing, Elden Ring. Can you see that? Fuck. Oh god, there's a glare. Fuck. Elden Ring. Yeah, shit. Hold on. Alright, that's good. Elden Ring. I should probably mention, this is unscripted, so these videos are going to be me rambling mostly, so I hope y'all enjoy that. Yeah, me and everyone else in the fucking world I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I haven't uploaded a single video of it yet because I'm taking forever to edit it, but it's also because it's such a massive game. I'm trying to really condense things down so the videos aren't too long. I've also been playing it with my friends too, so I'm working on a highlight series with them as well. But Elden Ring is a lot of fun. You know, I'm sure by now everyone knows about Elden Ring, everyone knows how good it is, but it is honestly, in my opinion, a really amazing game. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and hopefully I'll get a video of it out to you guys soon. I want to try and get more than one video done before I start uploading it, so I'm not in a hurry to get the next one out. But I will say, unfortunately, I'm not done with the game. I am still in the early parts of the game. I'm currently in the Weeping Peninsula, which is one of the beginning areas, so I'm not that far. And unfortunately, because of you know how I do things on this channel, games like that are just massively huge open worlds, but also just long hours that it takes to finish. Said that sentence horribly, but you get what I mean. Those types of games are going to take me a while to just finish. But yeah, Elden Ring, I've been playing that, having a lot of fun with that. And also regarding Elden Ring, I do hope that when I eventually do finish that game, I hope to kind of go back and play the previous Souls games on this channel. I want to do Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Yes, I do want to do 2, even though I know it's horrible and I've never played it, but I've heard everyone hates that game apparently. I do need to finish Sekiro at some point because I started on this channel, and I really want to do Bloodborne. I played a little bit of Bloodborne, not a lot of it, never finished it, but I do really like that game, so that's one of the games I'm really looking forward to eventually doing on the channel. So yeah, once I finish with Elden Ring, my plan from there is to kind of go back into the previous From Software Souls titles on this channel. But along with that, I've also started playing Darksiders, the War Master Edition. I guess I should technically say replaying, because I beat that game a long time ago before I ever started the channel, and I love Darksiders. I think Darksiders 2 is probably my favorite. Yeah, I decided to start that because I wanted to kind of go back and play a game that I already know I like, which was frankly a nice change of pace, because I do like playing new games on the channel like Elden Ring, but going back and playing a game you've played before that you really like is kind of, I don't know the right term, but it's fun to do that every now and then, you know? So yeah, I definitely was enjoying that. I freaking love Darksiders. Can't wait to upload that on the channel, and after that I'm going to go into Darksiders 2, and then 3, and then Genesis, which 3 and Genesis I've never played, so once I get to those, I'm going to be very interested in playing, because those are going to be blind playthroughs. After that, I did technically play this for 1 hour and did one recording, and that was Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Now, I am a Borderlands fan. I do enjoy these games, and I do like the new Dungeons & Dragons take that they did with this game. The reason I only did one recording with so far was because, well, fucking Elden Ring. Because of how massive that game is, I decided to put most of my time into Elden Ring. And this kind of got pushed to the back burner. I want to finish Elden Ring first. I want to, let me phrase that. I want to finish Elden Ring first, but there's other games I have that I need to prioritize, which we're going to get into later. So Tiny Tina's Wonderland is a game I started and I'm going to get back to at some point. I do also kind of want to play the previous Borderlands games channel as well, so that's kind of another thing I'm thinking about, is once I finish Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I'll probably go backwards and do Borderlands 3, and then maybe 1 and 2, and maybe even the pre-sequel, because I do like Borderlands and I do want to play them on the channel. Also, fun fact about this game I originally tried to live stream on this channel, and that didn't work out because unfortunately I have a shitty internet setup where essentially my internet disconnects randomly, and I don't know how to tell when it's going to happen. I don't know how to stop it from happening. There's a way I can kind of prevent it from happening, but unfortunately I am unable to do so. Also, your internet disconnecting is not good for live streaming, because in order to live stream you have to be connected to the internet. So it really sucked, because I started playing this on a live stream, and 10 minutes in my internet disconnects and it just cuts out. So I got frustrated and basically said fuck it and decided to start recording it instead. But that is a good way for me to kind of mention this. I do still want to do live streams. I do still want to do live streams on this channel, and what I'm thinking about doing is, instead of playing games like Elden Ring or Tiny Tina's Wonderlands that are like kind of story campaign style games on a live stream, maybe instead I'm going to record those, because at the very least if I record them I don't risk missing out. My thought process has like I'm live streaming a game and it's like I'm watching a cutscene, it's very story relevant, and my internet cuts out, I lose that footage. It won't be in the stream when it gets uploaded to the channel. So yeah, what I am thinking about doing is playing more multiplayer games on live stream, which is actually a good way for me to kind of segue into what else I've been playing. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels. If any of you guys don't know this about me, I was a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was a kid, and I do still kind of like the game. I even have some of the Funko Pops above me on the top shelf. You can see kind of right there, that's Obelisk, Slifer, and right next to it is Exodia. It's a little hard to tell because of how blurry it is in the background, but yeah, those are some Funko Pops I have of Yu-Gi-Oh! Also, the Slifer one's probably my favorite. But yeah, no, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels was kind of like a game I've been wanting since for years, because when I started college, my friend got me real into Hearthstone, and when I started playing Hearthstone, I was like, man, I wish there was a version of like this, but with Yu-Gi-Oh! And now there pretty much is, and I've been playing it a lot, having a lot of fun. I originally wanted to make a video of it first before I started live streaming it, but the reason I haven't is because I don't have a deck that's good that I want to start playing on video, and I've been kind of working through grinding the game to get the cards I need to make my deck good, and I'm also trying not to spend money on this game, so that makes it take longer. I am considering just saying fuck it and making a video with the deck I have, but I don't know, we'll have to see. But I do think I might live stream that game, because that seems like a game better for live streaming, and you know, if something happens where my internet disconnects like I talked about, you won't miss much. Maybe just like the end of a game, but it's not like if I play Elden Ring and you miss a boss fight or you miss a cool moment or something, you know? Something else I played, haven't put a lot of time into it, but I started the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3, the Remind DLC. Now, I beat Kingdom Hearts 3 a while ago, and that's another series I need to get back on this channel. I've had to just edit the rest of the videos I have. But I started the Remind DLC, and I've been really enjoying it. I played it for like the first hour. Got some cool story moments, some cool cutscenes. And yeah, I can't wait to get that on the channel for you guys. Also, because the new Kirby game got announced, I decided to start playing Kirby Star Allies. Now, I have heard that this game is kind of, when it comes to opinions, it's kind of mixed. Some people like it, some people don't. I started playing in like the first level, played for like an hour, recorded for like the first hour of it, and so far I enjoy it. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I have nothing bad about to say about the games. It's just, first impressions, I enjoy it, but this is one of those games where it's like, it's fun, but I'm not like dying to get back into, you know? I think I am eventually going to get back into it. I haven't decided, but this is one of those games that's kind of just like, I'll play it when I feel like it, you know? But the reason I did start playing this was because I do want to do the new Kirby game on the channel, and I just kind of thought if I'm going to do the new one, I might as well go back and do the only other Switch Kirby game there is. I know there's other Kirby Switch games that you can buy digitally, but I'm talking more so about the physical ones you can buy. And yeah, I might also upload those together, like the new Kirby game and the old Kirby game kind of upload simultaneously, but I haven't figured that out yet. I'll see when I get there. And also, another game that I started, only recorded for like an hour, and haven't gotten back to yet. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Just first impression was when I started, I really enjoy it. I really like this new take on Pokemon. it's been fun so far. I do definitely want to get back into it, put more time into it when I can. I also do eventually plan to go back and finish Pokemon Sword, which I started on the channel, and then I do still want to do the Diamond remake because Gen 4 is one of my favorite generations, and Diamond and Pearl is kind of when I stopped playing Pokemon originally years ago, and then I'm getting back into it. I really want to go back and play the remaster versions of those games. And you're noticing a pattern of me saying I started this game, recorded for like an hour, didn't get back to it, and I did that with a lot of games that I just mentioned. The reason for that is because the beginning of this year up until now in April, there has been a lot of big releases. I mean, we had Pokemon Arceus, we had Elden Ring, big one, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, the new Kirby game, Horizon Forbidden West came out, and I'm gonna touch more on that later. But basically, because there's so many of these big titles and releases in such a small amount of time, like from month to month to month, it's been hard for me to keep up with, and it's easier for me to kind of focus most of my time to one specific game at a time. Even though I just mentioned I kind of went back and forth to multiple games, the reason I kind of go back and forth to multiple games is to kind of mix things up, because it kind of give me a break from that one game to play something else. Because if I play too much of the same game for too long, I eventually get bored for it, and makes me not want to get back in to play it again. Not like drop the game completely, but just kind of like I need a break from it, I need to play something else, you know, like change things up a bit, you know? So that's kind of why I started a lot of these games but didn't put a lot of hours into them, is just because with how many games have been releasing, it's been a lot to keep up with. And it's easier for me to just kind of focus on like the bigger titles and then get back to the other ones later. I will say, now that we're kind of end of April going into May, there's not really a lot of games coming these next couple months that I'm like absolutely like I need to play or I want to play on the channel. The only other games coming out this year that I know of that still don't have a release date but are still, as of this recording, scheduled to come out this year are God of War Ragnarok, Bayonetta 3, and Atomic Heart. Those are the kind of the only games that I know of that are coming out this year that I'm actually like I have to play these on the channel, or that I'm most looking forward to playing on the channel. But now that we're kind of, you know, end of April going into May, this is kind of like a good like downtime for me to kind of just play what I want to play and enjoy playing video games that I want to play, because there's not really any big releases that I have to like kind of jump on right away. You know, this is like kind of a nice calm period for me to kind of just do what I want to do and enjoy the games I have, because I have a lot of games I need to finish and a lot of my backlog. Also, because I mentioned God of War Ragnarok and Bayonetta 3, this is kind of a good way to kind of segue into other games I've been playing in my spare time. I have been working on God of War. God of War is a game I started on this channel, oh god, I want to say at least 2 years or 4 years at this point. God, I didn't realize how much time had passed since I uploaded that last video. But yes, because God of War Ragnarok is coming out, I have been working on the previous God of War game, and I think I'm almost done with this. According to what my friend told me, I'm about a little past the halfway point in this game. So I bet I can finish this game in maybe like before the end of May. That's kind of the goal I have. My plan for this playthrough though is to do the entire campaign, maybe do some side quests. I don't know if the side quests are like good enough to make a video on, but that's the one I'm thinking of. But I am also like, after the campaign, I want to do the Valkyries. I've heard about the Valkyries and the Queen Valkyrie and how much of a ridiculously hard boss fight that is. So of course I want to do it on the channel, like why wouldn't I, right? But overall impressions, I have been loving this game. You couldn't even see it because the fucking glare. I need to work my lighting, goddamn. But I have been loving this game. This game is a lot of fun. I love the characters. I love seeing Kratos, kind of how he's developed over the years, and his kind of how his relationship with his son is kind of evolving as the story goes. I love Mimir. Mimir is like probably my favorite character in this game. And yeah, I've been just really enjoying it. I've also been playing the first Bayonetta. This is the Bayonetta Vanquish bundle you can get. I never actually played Vanquish, that's another game I've been wanting to play on this channel. But I've been playing the first Bayonetta. I should actually say replaying, because I beat Bayonetta first one back when I was in like high school. Like, it's a really, really fun game, and I'm having a lot of fun replaying it on the channel for you guys. Hopefully gonna get that series up soon, because I'm trying to beat Bayonetta 1 and 2 before 3 comes out. And Bayonetta 2 I've never played, so Bayonetta 2 is going to be a blind playthrough, which I am excited to do that soon. God, you can like see the little pile I'm making over there. I didn't know where to put these, before I started filming, so I just throw them over there now. One other game I want to mention, and I started this a while ago, but haven't gone back to it because I'm trying to beat other stuff before I do. A long time ago, or not a long time ago, maybe like a year or two ago, I did start Breath of the Wild. And obviously I'm playing this to get ready for the Breath of the Wild 2 that's coming out, which I know a lot of people are sad that got delayed, but I'm honestly glad it got delayed to next year, because that gives me more time to work on all this that I need to do and this, because this game is fucking massive. And now that I'm trying to, like, you know, do Elden Ring, all this, and other games I'm planning on playing on the channel, the more time I have, the better. Also because after this, I gotta do the fucking Age of Calamity game, because apparently that's a prequel to this, and that's probably important for me to know. But this game, first impressions, love it. Been enjoying the parts I did play. And fun fact, if anyone doesn't know about me, this is my first Zelda game. I'm not even kidding. I've never played a Zelda game before I started this, so it's kind of weird this is my first one, because I know this is where this game, they really changed up how those Zelda games formula works and all that, which also makes me really want to play the older games on the channel if I was able to. I've talked about this before, but I really wish they would have remastered the older games. They did Skyward Sword, which is one game I can do. They did technically make Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time playable with the shitty Nintendo Online membership, but I'm not gonna fucking pay for that. I've even seen apparently people talk about it online that apparently, like, it doesn't even work that well, so like I'm not gonna fucking pay for a shitty online subscription just to play 2 games that don't barely fucking work. I'm not gonna do that. So I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to play those older games on this channel unless there's like an actual like remaster release I can actually buy, or if I can find some way to play the older games on the channel and also get the older games. I don't have them. Maybe it is something I would like to do, but I just don't think it's something I'm ever going to be able to do. But I don't know how to segue into this, but something I just want to mention, a goal referring to those past 3 games I just mentioned. A goal I have for myself to accomplish on this channel is to finish God of War before God of War Ragnarok, finish Bayonetta 1 and 2 before Bayonetta 3, and then finish Zelda Breath of the Wild before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. Thankfully, these games right now, as I'm recording this, and I really hope this doesn't jinx it, but thankfully these games don't have release dates. They're scheduled for 2022 and Breath of the Wild 2 2023. So right now I still have time. I'm almost done with God of War. I think I can beat the campaign that in a little bit. Or not a little bit, in like maybe like I want to say like maybe within a few days, but I'm not sure how much I have left to do. My goal for May of this year is to beat God of War and Bayonetta 1. Bayonetta 2 I don't think I'm going to beat within this year. I don't know how long that game is, but I think I can do that. And also when I say beat, I don't mean like beat and have the finale on the channel, just to kind of set expectations. I mean like finish playing the game, and then the videos will kind of come later when I can get them done. And then also alongside that, I'm going to of course be working on Elden Ring, trying to get through that massive fucking game. And also Breath of the Wild, I'm gonna probably get back into around maybe the end of June. That's what I'm thinking, because I think by then I'll have more time to dive into that game. My hope is that I'll be close to finishing Elden Ring, maybe not necessarily fully done, but at least towards the end, so that way I'm not kind of jumping back and forth between these 2 massive games. And I would like to mention that there are also games that have sequels coming out next year that I'm gonna try and start this year before we get into 2023, so that way I at least have those games started, so going into next year I'm more closer to finishing their previous entries. I don't know how to fuck else to explain this. I don't want to mention what those games are just yet, because I mainly am focused on working on these 3 games, or I guess 4 technically, 5 technically actually, before this year's over. So those are kind of my main focus before these years ends, or at least before their sequels come out. Also, this is technically not a game I've been playing. This is technically a game I finished a while ago, but I kind of just wanted to mention it here because I uploaded the finale recently. I finally uploaded the finale for Little Nightmares 2. And I'm really happy with my playthrough of Little Nightmares 2 and Little Nightmares 1 even, because I feel like there was a lot of really funny moments I was able to make into videos, and also into clips and shorts on the channel, which, by the way, if you want to see any of those, I have a bunch of shorts of both Little Nightmares 1 and 2 on the channel. You can just check them out. They're going to be in like the shorts tab. And just kind of give my quick thoughts and just a quick review of these games. Both these games are essentially horror-based side scrollers with some puzzle elements. Both these games, well, okay, there is a story, but the story is not really told through dialogue or cutscenes. It's all kind of just there happening. None of the characters talk to each other. No cutscenes happen. It's essentially just you start playing and you side scroll from left to right like any other side scroller. And as for the story, It's the game gives you clues as to what's happening. It has a lot of environmental storytelling, and it's kind of up to you, the player, to kind of put together what's happening. There's a ton of theory videos as to like what the story is in Little Nightmares, which are very fascinating. I recommend go watching those if you just want to know more about the story and kind of just have it explained to you, I guess, because I can't fucking do that. In terms of gameplay, like I said, it is a side scroller with some light puzzles on it. The puzzles aren't too challenging. One thing I like about Little Nightmares 2 compared to Little Nightmares 1 is that in the first game you play as one character, whereas in the second game you play as one character, but you have another character that's kind of like your AI companion. And what can happen is that when she's with you, if you're kind of like lost, not sure what to do next or how to solve puzzles, she'll kind of like give you a hint by pointing at the thing you need to mess with or looking at it, which is kind of a nice way of like kind of hinting at you like what you're supposed to do. I will say the game does have some bugs or glitches every now and then. Nothing kind of game breaking, but just kind of like minor annoyances that can sort of get in the way, but they kind of smooth themselves out within the span of like a few seconds. So yeah, it can be a little glitchy, but not like unplayable, you know? I will also say, because they are horror games, they're not super scary. I would consider these more like entry-level horror. They're more creepier than anything. So I will say, if you're someone who wants to get into horror games but kind of wants to start off with something that's not super scary, a little light, I would recommend these. These games are actually very cheap. You can get the first one for like, with the DLC, for like all the DLC for like 20 bucks. And I don't know what the second one's going for. Let me look that up right now, actually. Probably wouldn't have been good to know before I started this recording. Like I said, this is completely unscripted, folks. Yep, just looked at GameStop. You can get Little Nightmares 2 for just under 20 bucks as well. So they're very cheap games, very good amount of time. Both of them were around like roughly 8 to 9 hours long, so you get a good fair amount of time with them. And they are fun games. I do really enjoy them. I also think the ending to Little Nightmares 2 was one of the craziest endings I've seen. No spoilers, but if you know what happens, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I really enjoyed playing those games, and I'm very proud of the videos I made on them. And I really enjoyed my playthrough with them, which if you want to see my playthrough of both of these games, I'll put a link to each playlist in the description below. You can go check out. I also did something different with those games that I haven't done with any other series on the channel. I made videos for each one of them where I kind of put a compilation of all the funniest moments, all the best moments from my playthrough all in one video on the channel, so you can go see that too. I'm kind of thinking about doing that for the rest of my playthroughs on the channel, where I just kind of, you know, make a best of type video for games I play on here. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or commit to that though, but that is kind of something I'm just thinking about. So if you want to see those videos as well, I'll put a link to those in the description below too. They're actually going to be in the playlist for both those playthroughs as well. But that is everything I've been playing, or I have played or finished on the channel this month. And now I'm going to talk about games that I've been thinking about starting. Bear in mind, any of these games I've talked about here, like Elden Ring, God of War, I'm still going to be working on. Those are still going to be like games I work on throughout this month until they're finished. But there are games that I haven't started on the channel yet, or that I'm thinking about going back to and playing. Keep in mind, I do have a lot of games backlogged. I have a lot of games that have been out for years at this point and that I still want to play on the channel. I've also have games that I've started on the channel years ago but I've never finished that I need to go back to. So keep in mind that if I don't mention those games right now, that doesn't mean I'm never going back to them. I am eventually going to go back to those games. It's just a matter of like when I can get to it. But yeah, let me just go ahead and show you guys the games that I'm kind of thinking about starting in May of 2022. So the first one is obviously Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I almost said Wilds. Kirby and the Forgotten Wilds. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This Kirby game I haven't started yet, and I've seen trailers and gameplay, and it looks like a lot of fun. It kind of looks like sort of a Super Mario Odyssey take on the Kirby style of game, and I just really want to play this because it just looks like a fun, lighthearted game. I say lighthearted when I know from what I've heard that the lore of Kirby gets really fucking dark. But anyway, but speaking of Mario Odyssey, I also have been wanting to start Mario Odyssey on the channel. I still never played this. I know, and I can't believe I'm saying that because I love platformers, especially like 3D platformers, I think is the right terminology. And I've heard a lot of good things about this game. I heard everyone really loves this game. So I've been thinking about starting this on the channel because of, you know, Kirby Forgotten Land reminds me a lot of this and just kind of looks like it has a similar formula to it. So I've been wanting to kind of play this as well. Now that I'm talking about Mario, I just reminded myself that I started Mario Sunshine on this channel. I actually kind of forgot I started that, and I need to go back and do that as well. So I might jump back into Mario Sunshine when I can. Also, another game I've been thinking about starting on this channel that is also a 3D platformer that I've never played before, A Hat in Time. I have heard a lot of good things about this game. I've heard it's really fun, I've heard it's a really good game, and I've never played it. It would totally be a blind playthrough, but I've been really thinking about starting this game recently. And so yeah, I might start that soon, just to kind of, you know, check it out, give it a shot. Let me also kind of preface that when I talk about, I probably should have said this earlier, but when I talk about games that I'm thinking of playing, it's more so games that have been kind of the most on my mind. That I'm just really thinking like, man, I want to play this or something, you know. And also kind of something kind of mentions that my mind tends to be all over the place, and I cannot make a fucking decision. Hence why I'm like mentioning so many games I'm thinking about, because I'm thinking about starting all these games, but I can't just pick one. I cannot just be like that one and then start playing it. I for some reason I can't make a choice, and I decided to say, oh, I want to play this, I want to play this, I want to play this, and I give myself too many choices to where I kind of just, I make it a lot more than it needs to be, you know? And so I'm mentioning every game that I'm thinking of playing, or that have been the most on my mind, because I can't make a fucking decision. Anyway, getting off that, the next game I've been thinking about playing is, this one's actually been on my mind for a while. I've been really wanting to start Battle Chasers Night War. This is a turn-based RPG, so it's probably gonna be a longer game. I kind of forget how long this game is. I've never played it before. But I've seen some gameplay and trailers, and I love the art style. I think the game visually looks very cool, and it's one I've been for a while actually been wanting to start on the channel, that I'm hopefully gonna start soon, because this has been one I've been wanting to get into for a while. Also, a game that I've been wanting to, well, technically two games I've been wanting to kind of continue on the channel is Final Fantasy 15 and 7. Final Fantasy 15 is a game I started on this channel a long time ago. It was actually my first Final Fantasy, and I never finished it. I kind of took a break from it. That was like, I started this game back in like, I want to say 2016 when it came out, or maybe 17, I don't remember. But the point is, it's been a long time since the last episode, or since I played Final Fantasy 15, and also even upload a video of my Final Fantasy 15 playthrough. I do still want to finish that game. I do still want to play it on the channel. I think I'm thinking about getting back into it now. I have nothing against the game. Like, don't think that I took such a long break from it that spanned multiple years because I didn't like it. That's not the case. I just got so focused on trying to play new games that kept coming out that I never got the chance to go back and play the older ones that I've been needing to get back to. But yeah, I've been really wanting to get back into Final Fantasy 15. I've also been wanting to get back into Final Fantasy 7, just because I took a break from that game as well, and I need to finish that because I'm trying to play through that so I can eventually start the remake on this channel. And also because both Final Fantasy, or pretty much I think all Final Fantasy games, are very long games, so it's going to take me a while to finish them, but the sooner I start, the sooner I can finish, you know? Another game that I have been thinking about starting this month is Dishonored, and I apologize for the fucking terrible cover on the casing. I tried peeling out the fucking price tags that GameStop likes to put on these things, and apparently it got like stuck, and this ended up happening, which is why I hate when they put fucking stickers and price tags on your cases. Goddamn. I don't know if any of you guys can tell, but I like collecting my games physically, so when the case looks bad, I end up being a little upset. But I do want to play Dishonored on this channel soon, because I actually did start Dishonored 2 a long time ago on this channel. I never got back to it, but I wanted to play Dishonored 1 and then get into Dishonored 2, because I actually did beat Dishonored 1 a long time ago when I was in high school. I actually got the bad ending when I finished that game, and I really enjoyed that game. So I feel like if I'm going to do Dishonored 2 on the channel, I might as well do the first one and kind of just play through both of them, kind of have both of them on the channel, because I like Dishonored 1, and I was enjoying Dishonored 2 that I played, and I want to have both on the channel, you know? So that's another one thing about getting back into. And also because like I've played that game already, I kind of know going into it like how long it is, and also just how big the levels are. I don't remember everything in that game, so a lot of the playthrough isn't going to be me like knowing what I'm doing. It's going to be kind of like remembering as I go. But thankfully that I have like kind of a general idea of what it's like going into it, I'll probably be able to play through a little better, maybe, hopefully. I'm going to try and not get the bad ending if I can, because I've never gotten it before, but also I kind of want to, you know, just get an ending I haven't seen. And the last game that I want to mention that I am thinking about playing on this channel is probably the least likely going to happen this month, because it is a fucking long ass game. And that is Dragon Quest 11, I think. Echoes of an Elusive Age. I've never played a Dragon Quest game before, and I've heard good things about this one. I've heard this game is actually a good one to start with. I want to play this game on the channel because it looks like fun. I don't know if I'm going to start it though, because it is a long fucking game. Like, I think on howtobeat.com, which is a website you can go to see how long a game is, hence the name. According to that, the last I looked, I think the main story alone is just 50 hours. So yeah, I mean, I'm already trying to do Elden Ring. I'm trying to do Breath of the Wild, and I'm trying to do a bunch of other fucking games on the channel that I feel like, even though I want to start that one is the least likely I'm going to start this month. Like I talked about this earlier, now that we're kind of getting into a more calmer part of the year where not many big releases are happening, I kind of have the freedom to kind of play what I want to play and not so much kind of worry about playing the new big releases that are coming out. So my goal for the entirety of the year is to prioritize working on God of War, Bayonetta, 1 and 2, and then once I finish those 3 games, I'm going to jump into Breath of the Wild. And then along with me doing that, I'm going to work on Elden Ring. Once I beat Elden Ring, then I'll kind of go from there and kind of play whatever I feel like playing, honestly. And then, you know, once after all that's done, it's kind of just, you know, whatever happens, you know, play whatever I feel like playing at the time. The only game I've mentioned that I'm that is like on my list of I need to get done is Breath of the Wild. I misspoke. That's not the only one of those. What I meant to say was that's the one that I feel like I'm probably most likely not gonna finish this year, but at the very least I'm hoping to finish it before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. Breath of the Wild 2, like I said, is delayed to 2023, and that works better for me because that gives me time to play through the first game. I don't know when in 2023 it's gonna release. My hope is that it's not a winter release and it's more so like maybe a summer or a holiday release. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, because that gives me more time to work through that game. Because just the more time I have, the better. Oh, I completely forgot to talk about Horizon Forbidden West, because that was another game I was playing. Not Forbidden West, but the previous one, Zero Dawn. I was playing that game. I think about halfway through that game, and I originally was trying to beat that game before the sequel came out, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. The sequel ended up coming out, and now for that series my goal is just kind of finish the first game and the DLC, because apparently the DLC is important for the sequel, and then play the sequel on my channel. But because the sequels already came out and I kind of missed my goal I had, I'm not really in a hurry to finish it, and so I'm going to take my time with that one. And I'll be honest, Horizon Zero Dawn is not a game. It is a game I'm going to finish on the channel eventually and eventually get back into, but it's not one that I'm like rushing to get back into, because I gotta be honest with you, the game was kind of boring me. I was at a point where the story wasn't interesting, the gameplay was feeling kind of repetitive, and I just wasn't having as much fun with it. But thankfully, my friend Austin, who has been in many videos on my channel at this point, I'm sure you know who he is, he did tell me that where I'm at in the story now is where things kind of start to pick up. So hopefully by the time I get back into playing the game, it'll be a little bit more interesting for me. But yeah, that's kind of what's happening with that series. I completely forgot to mention it earlier. I mentioned earlier that I was going to talk about it, but then forgot to fucking talk about it. But yeah, that's kind of everything I want to talk about. This video has been absolutely all over the place. It's probably going to be a nightmare to fucking edit, and I am sorry. Like I said, this is going to be kind of an unscripted series where I kind of just ramble. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. I am planning on making this like a monthly series where I kind of release each one of these at the end of the month. Just kind of talk to you guys and let you know like what I'm working on, what I'm thinking about starting. And it's also a good way for you guys to let me know what you're interested in seeing, so I know kind of like what I should focus on over the others. So any of the games I mentioned, are these games you're interested in seeing me play? Have you played them yourself, and do you like them, or do you have any thoughts you want to share about them in the comments below? By all means, go right ahead. And yeah, sorry for this hot mess of a video, but I hope y'all enjoyed it either way. If you guys did, let me know in the comments. Let me know by hitting the like button and subscribing. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.